Here's a number that should stop you cold. The average American spends between $5,000 and $12,000 on a heating and cooling repair or replacement they didn't need to spend that much on. Not because their system was beyond saving, not because the contractor was dishonest, most aren't, but because nobody taught them the 5 things that quietly destroy heating and cooling systems years ahead of schedule. I've spent time talking to longtime service technicians, not salespeople, not installers, the people who get called when something actually breaks. And they all say the same thing. The homeowners who avoid catastrophic repair bills aren't doing anything complicated. They're just not making a handful of very common, very fixable mistakes. Today I'm walking you through exactly what those mistakes are, to why they happen, and what you can do about each one. Most of it for free or close to it. No major purchases, no special skills, just the stuff that actually matters. Mistake 1. Ignoring the one component that controls everything. Your air filter is not a suggestion, it is the lungs of your entire system. When airflow is restricted, and a clogged filter restricts airflow, your system has to work harder to move the same amount of air. The blower motor strains. The evaporator coil runs colder than it should, sometimes cold enough to freeze. And a frozen coil doesn't just stop cooling your house, it can force liquid refrigerant back into the compressor, which is the single most expensive component in your system. A new compressor typically runs $1,500 to $3,000 installed. A filter costs $10 to $25. Now here's where people get this wrong. They either change filters too infrequently, or they buy the thickest. On highest rated filter they can find, thinking more filtration means better protection. It doesn't. A very dense filter creates the same restriction problem as a dirty one. For most residential systems, a filter rated between 8 and 11 on the minimum efficiency reporting value scale, changed every 60 to 90 days, is the sweet spot. Enough filtration to protect the equipment without starving it of airflow. Set a calendar reminder right now. That's all it takes. Mistake 2. Closing vents to save energy, and why it backfires. This one is everywhere. You have a guest bedroom nobody uses, so you close the vent. Seems logical, right? Less space to cool, lower bills. Here's what's actually happening. Your heating and cooling system was designed, or should have been designed, to move a specific amount of air at a specific pressure. When you close a vent, that air doesn't disappear. The blower is still pushing the same volume of air, but now it has fewer places to go. Pressure builds in the duct system. Ducts aren't always perfectly sealed, so that pressurized air starts finding the cracks, leaking into your attic, your walls, spaces that are completely unconditioned. You're literally air conditioning the inside of your ceiling. On top of that, a high static pressure stresses the blower motor and can cause the heat exchanger in your furnace to crack over time. A cracked heat exchanger is a carbon monoxide hazard, and replacing one costs $2,000 to $4,000. The fix? Keep your vents open. If you genuinely want to manage airflow room by room, look into a zoning system or a simple bypass damper. But don't just close the registers and walk away. Mistake 3. Skipping the outdoor unit until it's too late. Your outdoor condenser unit has one job: dump heat from your house into the outside air. To do that, it needs airflow, lots of it. Most homeowners never touch their outdoor unit. They figure it's outside, it's built tough, it can handle it, and it can until it can't. What kills outdoor units prematurely is coil restriction. The aluminum fins on the outside of your condenser get clogged with cottonwood seeds, grass clippings, pet hair, and general debris. When those fins are caked, your system can't reject heat efficiently. The refrigerant runs hotter, the compressor runs hotter, head pressure climbs, and compressors that run hot consistently just don't last as long as ones that don't. Once a year, ideally in the spring before cooling season, Spray the coil down with a gentle garden hose from the inside out. You're trying to push debris outward, not compact it inward. Keep landscaping at least 18 to 24 inches away from all sides. And check that the unit is level. They can settle over time, and a tilted compressor doesn't oil properly. 20 minutes once a year. That's the maintenance window that extends compressor life by years. Mistake 4. Ignoring what your thermostat is actually telling you. Your thermostat is more than a temperature dial. It's a diagnostic tool, if you know how to read it. Pay attention to how long your system runs to satisfy a call for cooling or heat. If it's short cycling, running for 5 or 10 minutes, shutting off, then starting again 20 minutes later, something is wrong. That could be an oversized system, a refrigerant issue, a dirty coil, or a failing component. Short cycling isn't just inefficient. Every startup puts significant stress on the compressor. The more startups per day, the faster it wears out. On the flip side, if your system is running almost continuously on a mild day and struggling to reach set point, that's also a red flag. Low refrigerant, dirty coils, or ductwork leakage are common culprits. The other thing most people miss, thermostat location matters enormously. A thermostat near a sunny window, a kitchen, or a supply vent is reading the wrong temperature. It's not measuring your living space, it's measuring a microclimate. That alone can cause your system to run hundreds of extra hours per year chasing a temperature that doesn't exist. If you have a smart thermostat, check the runtime history in the app. It's telling you exactly how hard your system is working. Learn to read it. Mistake 5. Waiting for something to break before calling anyone. This is the most expensive mistake on this list, and it's also the most common. Heating and cooling systems rarely fail all at once. They degrade. A refrigerant charge that's slightly low drops efficiency by 10 to 15% before you notice it in comfort. An electrical connection that's loosening creates resistance that overheats components over months. A drain line that's partially blocked sits one hot week away from overflowing into your ceiling. An annual tune-up, before summer starts, not after, catches these things when they're cheap. A technician checking refrigerant charge, cleaning the evaporator coil, inspecting electrical connections, and flushing the condensate drain costs somewhere between $80 and $150 in most markets. And that same visit, if it catches a failing capacitor, just saved you a $300 emergency call on the hottest day in August. If it catches low refrigerant before the system has to work through a full season short on charge, it may have just saved your compressor. The other advantage of annual visits, you build a relationship with a technician before you're desperate. When something does go wrong, you're calling someone who knows your system, not a stranger you found on a search engine at 7 in the evening on a Friday. None of this is complicated. That's the whole point. Change your filter on a schedule and choose the right one. Keep your vents open so your duct system can breathe. Spend 20 minutes a year on your outdoor unit before the season hits. Learn to read your thermostat's runtime data. And don't wait for a breakdown to call a technician. Your heating and cooling system is probably the most expensive mechanical system in your home. It also gets the least attention of anything that costs that much. Most of the failures that drain people's bank accounts aren't bad luck. They're the predictable result of things that were easy to prevent. If this video helped you, share it with someone who just bought a house. They need it more than anyone. And if you want a deeper dive on any one of these topics, refrigerant, ductwork, smart thermostats, let me know in the comments. I'll make the video. See you next time.